You know that eating right matters for your heart, but what you drink might be even more important. Liquids absorb faster. They spike your blood pressure quicker, and the wrong beverages can trigger inflammation, arrhythmias, and arterial damage in just minutes after that first sip. Here's what most doctors won't tell you. Some of the drinks you believe are perfectly safe, even healthy, are silently stressing your cardiovascular system with every single glass. Most heart patients focus on avoiding obvious offenders like soda, but there are far more dangerous drinks hiding in plain sight, some even marketed as heart-healthy options. In this video, we're exposing the 5 most dangerous beverages for anyone with heart problems. Drinks that research shows can trigger everything from dangerous blood pressure spikes to arterial inflammation, heart rhythm disruptions, and even increased risk of heart failure. And we won't leave you hanging. For each risky drink, we'll reveal a science-backed alternative that actually supports your cardiac health instead of undermining it. Let's start with a beverage that's gained a health halo, but might be sabotaging your heart without you realizing it. Coconut water, especially in excess. It's marketed as nature's sports drink and praised for its electrolytes. Coconut water seems like the perfect healthy hydration choice, but for anyone with heart issues, this tropical beverage can be surprisingly dangerous. The problem? Coconut water is exceptionally high in potassium, about 600 milligrams per cup, or 13% of the daily recommended intake in just one serving. While potassium is essential for heart function, sudden large doses can be dangerous for specific groups of heart patients. If you have any type of heart arrhythmia or are taking medications like beta blockers, ACE inhibitors, or ARBs, this potassium load can potentially trigger a condition called hyperkalemia, elevated potassium levels. The consequences can be severe, from dangerous heart rhythm disturbances to, in extreme cases, cardiac arrest. This isn't theoretical. A case report in Harvard's Health Letter documented a patient developing dangerous hyperkalemia after consuming large amounts of coconut water. For those with impaired kidney function, which is common in heart patients, the risk is even higher since the kidneys can't clear excess potassium efficiently. What's particularly deceptive is that coconut water's reputation as a natural drink leads many people to consume it liberally. Some heart patients report drinking several containers daily, not realizing they're potentially setting themselves up for a cardiac event. Even in healthy individuals, research in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition found that coconut water's particular electrolyte profile can potentially disrupt the ideal sodium-potassium balance needed for proper heart rhythm regulation, especially when consumed in larger quantities. What to drink instead? Opt for electrolyte water with balanced minerals in moderation. Look for options with a more balanced potassium to sodium ratio, or simply add a pinch of high-quality salt and a squeeze of lemon to filtered water for gentle electrolyte support that won't stress your heart. Tonic water. It looks like plain water or club soda, making it seem like a harmless choice for heart patients seeking an alternative to sugary sodas. But tonic water harbors 2 significant cardiovascular dangers that most people completely overlook. First, standard tonic water contains surprising amounts of added sugars or high fructose corn syrup, up to 32 grams, 8 teaspoons, per 12-ounce serving. That's nearly as much as a regular cola. This sugar load triggers the same cascade of inflammation, insulin spikes, and triglyceride elevation that damages arterial walls and worsens heart disease. What makes tonic water uniquely problematic, however, is its quinine content. This bitter compound, which gives tonic water its distinctive flavor, can affect heart rhythm in sensitive individuals. For patients with certain types of arrhythmias or those taking medications like beta blockers, statins, or blood thinners, quinine can potentially interact with their medications or exacerbate existing rhythm issues. A case report in the American Journal of Medicine documented a patient developing dangerous QT interval prolongation, a heart rhythm disorder that can lead to sudden cardiac arrest, after consuming several gin and tonics. While the alcohol certainly contributed, the quinine interaction with the patient's medication played a significant role. The danger is compounded because many people mix tonic water with alcohol in drinks like gin and tonic, creating a double hit to the cardiovascular system. The inflammatory effects of both alcohol and the hidden sugars, plus the potential rhythm disturbances from quinine. What to drink instead? Opt for plain club soda or sparkling water with a squeeze of fresh lime. You'll get the refreshing bubbles and citrus tang without the sugar load or the quinine risk, making it a genuinely heart-safe alternative that still feels special. Flavored almond and oat milks. Plant-based milks are generally considered heart-friendly alternatives to dairy, especially for those managing cholesterol. But many flavored varieties harbor hidden dangers that can actively damage your cardiovascular system. The first problem is added sugar. Many flavored plant milks contain 20 grams of added sugar per cup. That's 5 teaspoons in what many people perceive as a healthy choice. These hidden sugars contribute to inflammation, weight gain, and insulin resistance, all major risk factors for heart disease progression. But the more insidious issue lies in the additives. Many shelf-stable plant milks contain carrageenan, a seaweed-derived thickener that research has linked to cardiovascular inflammation. Studies published in the Journal of Diabetes Research demonstrate that carrageenan exposure induces insulin resistance and glucose intolerance, two major risk factors for heart disease. Other common additives include gums, emulsifiers, and phosphates, which studies in the journal Circulation have linked to increased inflammatory markers and potential damage to the endothelial lining of blood vessels, the very tissue that becomes damaged in atherosclerosis. What makes this particularly deceptive is that these products are often marketed with heart-healthy claims due to their plant origin, leading consumers to believe they're making a beneficial choice when they might actually be consuming inflammation-triggering compounds with every sip. What to drink instead? Choose unsweetened plant milks with no additives. Check labels carefully for carrageenan, gums, and added sugars. The best options contain just the plant base, almonds, oats, and water, or make your own at home for complete control over ingredients. Vegetable juice. It's marketed as a convenient way to get your vegetables, and the labels often boast about heart health. But commercial vegetable juices like V8 hide a dangerous secret for heart patients: extremely high sodium levels. A single 8-ounce serving of original V8 contains about 700 milligrams of sodium, nearly 1/3 of the recommended daily limit for healthy adults, and potentially half of what's recommended for those with heart failure or hypertension. Drinking just 2 servings puts a heart patient dangerously close to their entire daily sodium allowance. This sodium overload directly impacts blood pressure. Research in the New England Journal of Medicine found that even modest reductions in sodium intake can lower systolic blood pressure by 10 mmHg, similar to the effect of some prescription medications. Conversely, high sodium intake has been shown to stiffen arteries, increase vascular resistance, and worsen outcomes in heart failure. What makes vegetable juices particularly deceptive is their health halo. Their association with vegetables leads many people to consume them liberally, not realizing they're delivering a sodium bomb with every glass. Even the low-sodium varieties often contain 140 milligrams or more per serving, which can add up quickly. Beyond sodium, many vegetable juices also contain added sugars, preservatives like potassium sorbate, and flavoring agents that may trigger inflammation or allergic responses in sensitive individuals, creating additional cardiovascular stress. What to drink instead? Make fresh, low-sodium vegetable juice at home where you control the ingredients, or dilute commercial vegetable juice with equal parts water to cut the sodium by half. Add a squeeze of lemon for flavor and vitamin C that supports blood vessel health. Store-bought smoothies. That bottled green smoothie with pictures of fruits and vegetables on the label seems like a heart-healthy choice. After all, it's packed with superfoods, right? The reality is far more troubling. Most commercial smoothies are loaded with added sugars, sweetened yogurt, and fruit concentrates that can wreak havoc on your cardiovascular system. A typical 16-ounce store-bought smoothie contains 60 grams of sugar. That's equivalent to 15 teaspoons hitting your bloodstream at once. For context, the American Heart Association recommends no more than 6 teaspoons of added sugar daily for women and 9 for men. This sugar load doesn't just affect your waistline, it directly impacts your heart. Research published in JAMA Internal Medicine found that people consuming the highest amounts of sugar had 41% higher risk of dying from cardiovascular disease. Another study in the Journal of the American Heart Association showed that just one high-sugar beverage daily increased the risk of cardiovascular mortality by 31%. What happens inside your body is alarming. When that concentrated sugar hits your bloodstream, it triggers dramatic insulin spikes, increases inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein, elevates triglycerides, and can even cause dangerous irregular heartbeats in vulnerable people. Even more concerning for heart patients is the effect on cholesterol profiles. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that high sugar consumption increases small, dense LDL particles, the most dangerous type for heart disease, while simultaneously lowering protective HDL cholesterol. The deception is in the marketing. These products leverage the healthy reputation of fruits and vegetables, while delivering a product that often contains more sugar than a candy bar. What to drink instead? Make a quick homemade smoothie with leafy greens, a handful of berries, a tablespoon of chia seeds, and unsweetened plant milk. This combination provides fiber to slow sugar absorption, omega-3s for heart health, and antioxidants that support arterial function, all without the sugar overload. Your heart beats about 100,000 times per day. What you pour into your glass can make each one of those beats either stronger or more strained. Choose wisely, and your cardiovascular system will thank you with improved function, fewer symptoms, and greater resilience against future problems.